Oh, wow, little time for a change.
What does quiet on the set mean? It says we're live, so we must be live, ladles and jelly spoons. This is Tim Dow for Living with MS in Tenerife. We're here on Meetup Monday in Terrazas, Jable in Callao, Salvaje in Costa Adeje. The sun is going down, I'll show you that in a minute. Christina is with me, but she's on the other side of the table today because we have a special guest. We've got George, and I'll introduce him in a minute. But this, my friends, is Meetup Monday.
Well, I'm not that switched on.
And there we go, ladles and jelly spoons. Here we go. And Christina and George are over there. Hello, you two. How the devil are you?
Hi, Tim.
So I've sold Christina for the evening. So, because George is here on his own at the moment, right?
That's correct.
You're doing up your house, is it?
We are. We're renovating it. We're cleaning it up.
Cleaning it up. And you actually live in Callao Salvaje when you're over here?
Just up the road.
Cool, dude. So, George, thank you so much. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name? Where you're from?
My name's George Walters, and I'm from a place called Totteridge in North London. A lot of people haven't heard of Totteridge.
No,
it
no.
lies between Finchley and Mill Hill,
Okay.
which I'm sure you've heard of.
I've heard of Finchley. I've not heard of Mill Hill.
Well, they are both in North London.
Okay. And you retired or are you still working?
I'm supposed to be retired.
As what were you?
Well, I'm a watchmaker in the last few years, but I have been a geologist working in Africa, and I've done many things. But
Okay.
my interest is in watches, jewellery, and that sort of thing.
Well, that's the type of thing you can sort of retire and not retire, isn't it, really?
That's what my wife says.
Yeah,
Yeah, do this, do that, get this done.
Honeydews, they're called.
Yes.
Honeydew this and honeydew that.
That's right.
Cool, dude. And your wife, she's not here at the moment?
She's at home looking after Archie, our cat,
Oh, dear.
who is a black, short-haired domestic. And he's 17 years old, and he's all right, but he's really in his declining years.
Okay.
And he's been a little bit ill recently, and Shamad has stayed at home this trip just to keep him company and make sure he doesn't pop his socks while
All
she's
right.
away.
So you're here, she's not going to follow on and come
She
to...
will.
Yeah.
When I've got the house cleaned and ready, I will go back, and if Archie the cat has bounced back, we'll put him in a luxury cattery, a cat hotel, and then we'll both come out here together.
Okay. So you're going to do it here, then you're going to go back and you're going to come back again?
Yes.
Do you have British citizenship?
Oh yes, I've got a British passport.
So does that, now that limits the amount of time you can spend here at any one time, right?
Well, I'll ask you about that. We have got NIEs, so technically we are, I suppose, sort of residents. We've got the green card. Does that mean we can stay for longer than 90 days?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, when you had the green card, which was not only, well, the NIE, let me just put me on here as well. So the NIE is the Número Identificación Extranjero.
Yeah.
Just means the foreigner's identity number.
Right.
And you have to have that to do any type of business here, like buy a house, buy a car,
Yeah.
rent an apartment, or something like that. Then you have something called the empadronamiento, and that is registering that you actually live here so that the local council can get money from the Madrid government for a resident.
Right.
And to get residence status, you have to register at the police station and get the green card, right? And
Is that called the CIE? Is it?
oh, the TIE is
The TIE,
well, the
sorry.
TIE is a bit later. It used to be the green card.
Yeah.
If you have a green NIE, that means you've told them you're living here.
Yeah.
Right. And but you would have had to have changed that for a TIE a year after Brexit.
Which we didn't do.
So if you haven't done that,
Yes.
then it is no longer valid.
Yes, that's
Your
a problem.
NIE is valid because it's just a number. but the green certificate of European Union, whatever, is no longer valid, and you didn't take the opportunity to swap it with Article 50, which was what I did. So you just took your green one and got your TIE back. That was the easiest way to do it.
Should have done that. Yeah.
If you'd have done that and not lived here, then you would have been liable for tax here. So it was sort of wishy-washy when we were European, because it was free movement, so it didn't really matter where you lived. It's like living in London and Manchester. Nobody cares, right? But because Britain is no longer in the European Union, every time you exit and enter, you have to be controlled.
They did stamp our passport. They did stamp my passport. When
They will. They will now, because the British passport is no longer recognised as a European passport, even though it has probably a European passport on it. So for you at the moment, if you wanted to come and live here, like cut the ties in Britain and make Spain your main residence, then you would have to start the process in Britain. And I actually did a vlog with the Stephen and Denise.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's the system that you've got to go through. So the old NIE and green card won't help you anymore. But I've looked at it, and Denise and Steve have said it very well. It's not a bit of a hassle. There's a couple of things you've got to do to make it work, you know. But it's not a big problem. I'm going to take this hat off.
We will get that done. I'm pretty sure we will. Yeah.
But you don't have to do it if you're not going to live here. So if you're going to just use your time, because you don't get an extra 90 days. You know, it's if you get the TIE, you have to move here.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So it's not like.
Yeah, but if we've got the 90 days, it's a long time, 90 days.
Yeah.
And you could always fly back to London and come back again the next day, and you've got another 90 days.
No. It's 90 days in 180.
Oh,
so what you have to do is you have to count backwards from your date of exiting the European Union.
Yeah.
You cannot stay more than 90 days in the previous 180 days.
Oh, I see.
So in 6 months, you've got 3 months worth of in and outs. And you can either do it in one go, or you can do it in multiple goes.
Yeah.
But, you know, it doesn't work like that. So the TIE is good, but they won't allow you to sort of like pretend to live here just to extend your visa, right? So you have to sort of move your centre of life here. It's okay to keep something going on in Britain, but your centre of life will become here. You become tax resident here, and all that lovely stuff. But it's not too bad, because there is the option now, if you're a high earner or if you have high capital, then you can actually elect. I think they called it the Beckham law, where you just pay 24% of whatever your income is, and that's it. There's no sort of massive 90% all that crap. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But it depends on what you want to do. If you just want to say, well, we want to come for 4 months in the winter, then that is not a valid enough reason to go for the TIE.
No.
So if you want to move your centre of life here, that's okay. But apart from that, I'm sure that people will use it like that. So I'm just saying what the law is, but how people are actually going to use this and what eventually is going to happen, we don't know. In fact, it's quite possible that there may be. I can reverse. In fact, it may be possible to that they'll come up with some sort of special visa for Brits, you know, because you are our largest market for tourism.
I think they will do something like that.
So they might even do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a quick look to see what the people are saying.
Okay.
So you talk amongst yourselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, spoons, that was the beginning of the interview with George. It was quite good. We're going to ask him about Archie the cat and his wife. She's got a really nice name. So, is she a foreigner?
She was born in Kenya.
Right. I'll come back to that. Let me just do these. So, stay tuned for that. That's good. I mean, anybody who's not like Christina's exotic, any wife that is exotic, I'm dead interested in. So there you go. So, cool dudes. I have missed a load of you guys. There's 109 people watching. I'm starting from the beginning. It's mostly good evening, good evening, good evening.
I didn't see you.
Don't forget your microphone's still live. Oh. Of course. I've had that before when somebody's gone to the loo. Alan Fraser's on, Denise is on. Oh, Denise is on, all right, cool. Hello, David Butler. I'm just going to whiz past these. If they're all like hello, hello.
Have you got children?
No.
And Denise
We
has
had a
just
cat
received a
instead.
TIE. We'll come back to that in a minute as well. Cool dude, cool dude. Julie's on, Marianne's on. Alan's Homemade Vlogs. If I'm missing you, don't worry, I do
I've
see
seen
it.
her.
Pearson's
Yes.
Adventures.
She's lovely.
And Jason in Michigan is on. John Patton's on. Trisha Slater. And Craig is saying hit the like button. It's free. Okay, so thank you so much for all your comments there. 106 people
I
watching now.
watched that
107. It's
programme when she
going
was
up
on.
and up
It was
and up.
very good.
We are here on Terrazas El Jable. I'm actually going to show you a little bit around just before we carry on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this phone into a shared device. And not only that, but what's going to happen now is somebody, I think he was called, his pseudonym was Rigor Mortis. And he commented today that he likes the technical ones and people would like to know how the setup is for streaming. And George was surprised at everything I had to do. So actually I'm going to show you this now. So let me just see if I can grab this one on. So this is acting as Wi-Fi and camera now. So we shall see what we shall see. Okay, it's just coming online. Let me switch to that. So this is the setup. First of all, the sunset. Let me just see if I can grab that. Oh, there. Look at that. That's a beautiful sunset. And we're here in Terrazas El Jable. And this is the setup. So I have my iPad mini, which is my camera, pointing at me. We got the main switcher here, which also has a camera pointing. Is Terrazas El Jable in Callao Salvaje. I'm going to go a little bit further away. Hope the Wi-Fi stays up. We live up here. These guys know us as well. We'll come and say hello in a minute. And this is Meetup Monday for Timothy Dowd and Christina. So let's whip back to this one. There you go. And let's take the 11 back off. Now, the reason I've taken 11 back off is because it's acting as the Wi-Fi as well. So I don't want it to... Okay. I am Anil. Tim, we're all foreigners, exactly, yeah. I use... Sometimes my mouth works before my brain kicks in. David, Lee, how can you make Deborah work while you're watching Tim? Good question. Good question. Jack Bell's watching from Lanzarote. Marianne's coming over, it looks like. Fuerteventura for January, cool. Chris Cooney's on evening from Los Gigantes. If you want to do a walk in Los Gigantes this week, let me know. Tomorrow I've got a walk with Days of Daz. So I'm picking him up tomorrow at the Panorama in Puerto Colom there, about 9 o'clock. So if you're around there, come and say hello. And but the rest of the week I've not got planned, have I? I think Thursday I might do the Casa Fuerte one. So Christina's going to stay in bed all day, she said.
Well, not for a day.
A golden visa is good if you can afford the property. I did look into that, and I'm not sure whether the property that you already have is valid for the golden visa or whether you have to invest in property after you decide to come. So be careful on that one. So George was actually telling me that he's a massive drinker, he says.
That's not true.
Probably when his missus is not here.
That's not true.
So we're deciding who's the fastest, and we're nursing these things.
I just told him he can't order his second beer.
Until the guest does.
Yeah.
So I've kept kicking him under the table.
I've got bruises all over my ankles here.
So Shamad.
Yes.
How do you spell it?
The easy way to remember it is the game that you play at Christmas.
Charade.
Charades.
Yeah.
And exchange the R for a letter M.
Shamad. Charade. Okay. Shamad. That's not, and she's from Kenya.
She was born in Kenya,
Okay.
in a place called Kericho, which a lot of your viewers would probably know. Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful, beautiful little village in the Rift Valley. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of tea plantations and dairy milk produced there, cheese. But she got very bored with living there as a young girl and decided to come to London. She didn't come directly to London. She came to a place you know well, I think, Cardiff.
Cardiff, okay, yeah. I
And
know
she's-
Cardiff, but I lived in the north of Wales, so
Oh, right.
it wasn't a daily occurrence for me. But I have been to Cardiff.
Right. And then from Cardiff, she graduated to London.
So she went to university in Cardiff.
She went to university called the Gemological Association, it is a sort of university course. It's to do with gemstones.
Okay.
And she graduated on a 3-year course of that.
Ah, okay.
So she's an expert on minerals and gemstones.
So she's basically a diamond
Yes.
expert.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
We shall see what we shall see. Have you got any samples?
Afraid not.
Afraid not. I'm keeping an eye on Maria when she comes back. Because I think that you'll be drinking that by the time it comes, won't you? You don't have to
If
drink
you
it now.
insist, Tim, I will. I'll do you a favour.
Now it's my fault. I was making it his fault. Now it's my fault. Oh my God. Chris, what do you think?
You, mate.
She's terrible, isn't she? She's ruthless. Are you enjoying yourself there, darling, being ruthless? We used to meet. I used to meet Ruth down here. Dos cara, por favor. I already ordered. Okay, see what you guys are saying? Hit the like button from Gigantes, Iron Man, we're all foreigners. Did that one. Step hen cooking his spaghetti ball. Oh, Step hen. Stephen. Step hen is cooking his spag ball. Shamad. It's actually with CH, is it?
CH. Yes.
Okay.
I believe it means, and I could be wrong, it means heartbeat in French. Maybe one of your viewers would know that.
Okay, so it could be French, could it? Let me see. I have my.
You've got your.
I've got my
translation.
English, French. Search French. And let's go.
There used to be a French car, a Renault, I think, called the Renault Shamad.
Was it? So we'll say CHAMARD.
No R. ADE.
ADE.
Finishes ADE.
Well,
Shamad.
unfortunately, it has to be changed now to CHMARD,
Yeah.
which means mischievous.
Well, yes, she could be. She is. Yes, that's true. You are mischievous, Shamad, aren't you? Yes.
Actually, it doesn't translate. It just says Shamad is the same in English and French. And so it wasn't. Oh, I mean, that's Google, though. That's Google. No, don't believe everything that you everything that you see in Google. Jacqueline Ross is on. Hello, all. James Broomfield, are we having the tappers at your recommendation? Ah, that's James probably behind us. Cool dudes. Tim, we're told today, collecting our TIE, that poor Germans are finding it hard to get appointments for the TIE, but English is easier. Well, the Germans don't need a TIE.
No.
No, all they would need would be to go to the police station
They're
for
part of the Schengen.
yeah,
group.
part of the Schengen thing. So to get the green card, maybe it's just the police stations are inundated at the moment. But the Germans wouldn't need a TIE. Okay, counting the days, Alan. Okay. We got 94 people, that means we lost some people, so what did I say that was wrong? Why did you go? Well, actually, I can't ask you because you're gone. Unless you come back and watch on catch up to say, what did I miss? And then now I'm talking to you. Hey, that's amazing, isn't it? So anyway, I'm just going to show you can I do this? Yeah, I can. I'm going to do this one, then I'm going to turn it round, and then I'm going to show you the sunset like that. There you go. That is beautiful. Look at that. Oh, wow.
They're like pastel paintings.
It is.
And every night it's different.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I really like that. Let's turn you back around. Turn right back around. So, how did you and Shamad meet?
Ooh, wow. I used to know a guy who was a chef at the what's that hotel in London? The posh place
The
by
Ritz?
the Thames. Not the Ritz, the other one. The
Regency?
no, the one by the Thames.
Actually, I'm not a big. You'll have to ask Darren John for that one.
Anyway, he was a chef at that hotel, and he turned up at my house in London with two lovely ladies. Mm-hmm. They were cousins, and Shamad was one of them.
Right.
So we all went out for dinner, and he took us to a very nice restaurant, and we clicked, and the
rest is history, as they say.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Well.
absolutely.
Jinx. We've got to say that, Jinx. So yeah, and how long ago have you?
Oh, don't ask that. It was many, many years.
Is it a long time ago?
A long time. That was what, 1990, something like that.
Oh wow. Okay, so the last century, in fact.
Yeah.
The last
yeah.
makes us feel
We're
old, doesn't
cemented
it?
together, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Really. Apart from when Archie needs her, and then obviously
Absolutely, then
you're joined at the hip until Archie needs you.
Actually, Archie gets looked after better than me. I want you to hear that, Shamad. I want that to go out live.
And I don't blame you, Shamad. My sister's got some lovely cats as well, and she just lost one, also about 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And it is devastating, especially when you've got animals in the house that's with you for so long, you know. And so well done for you, Shamad, for staying home and looking after Archie. Actually, I met George on Friday or Saturday, was it? I can't remember. Friday.
Mercadona.
Yeah, Mercadona. And I just heard Tim in the background. You know, I thought, that's somebody calling me. I turned around, this young guy.
I recognised you from the back. I didn't see your face. I knew it was you.
There can't be that many bald fat guys. I'm going to do this just in case.
Did he have his t-shirt on? Did he have his t-shirt on when we saw him? Because it's printed on the back as well.
The famous T-shirt, of course.
Take my life in my hands.
Yes.
Okay. So the sun's gone down now. So I'm going to move just slightly to the side, because then I can see you in the real face. Oh, this is the best bit. Maria, I just had a beer called Maria. So.
Gracias.
Salud.
Pero no menos.
No, es igualmente.
Es igual, okay.
But those glasses look a little bit bigger, don't they?
They look bigger, but it's the same content, they say.
Cheers, Tim.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers, Maria. Christina.
George and Christy. Don't shoot the geese.
Despacito, you
Despacito. No, I can drink this. Oh.
But your German Weissbier that you drink at Little Germany, that is slightly better.
I think it is. You had the one that I have, right?
I did.
And
yes.
how do you know?
I saw you drinking it.
No, how do you know you had it? Because you told me the story earlier. I just want them to hear it.
Oh, I went to Spanish Style, which is the wines and spirits.
No, the one where you asked Kirsten.
Oh, I went to Little Germany, and I said, I walked in, it was an absolutely packed restaurant, and they said, we're full, we can't accept you tonight. And I said, I just want to have a glass of the beer that Tim always drinks, the Weiss beer. And she looked at me and said, well, look, you can have this little table here. And I sat down and she brought me the beer. And that was because of Tim. So I was
Cool
very
dude.
pleased with that.
Cool dude.
Your fame is spreading.
Oh, well, I'll have to go to see Kirsten and tell her. But have you eaten in Little Germany yet?
I haven't had a chance. They're full every night.
Yeah,
you have to book 2 days in advance to get in there.
At least, yeah. I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday's not too bad.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday not too bad, and Thursday. Wednesday, I think they've got a regular couple of tables that always book outside. Because they've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've only got 5 or 6 tables outside anyway. And the ones inside are quite nice. But you always like to be sort of...
We want to be outside.
Al fresco,
yes,
don't we?
Of
Al
course.
fresco. Outside in our shorts, my mum used to say. last week, well, when we used to land in Manchester, right?
Yeah.
She lived in North Wales, and we'd land in Manchester, and she'd come and pick us up, and Christina had like, we'd drop into Manchester through cloud, and then we get down, it'd be grey, everything grey and horrible, and then we get outside and it'd be cold, middle of summer, and it's gonna be cold, and then we get in the car, and my mum would say, "We were out in our shorts last week," right? So every time, wasn't it? And Chris had, for years, Chris had never seen good weather.
Yeah.
In Britain, had you? It probably wasn't summer when we went, though, was it?
Oh, no, mate.
No. I think because the birthdays were like February, March,
Yeah.
April, weren't they, for my mum and dad. But and then if we stay for a week or something, on the way back, we'd be driving to Manchester Airport, and she would always say, "Look, it's brightened up again." Chris says, I don't believe you. Don't believe you, the mother-in-law. So for those of you just joining us, my name's Tim Dowd and this is Christina. We are living with MS in Tenerife. We have a special guest today, George Waters. Just like Julie Waters, but no relation.
Not at all.
No relation. And you're watching Meet Up Monday. And we're back in the room. So those of you who missed it, this morning I went for a walk locally and I took my drone on my hip, and I was trying out a walk where I'd do a bit of drone flying and then you'd watch it, but then eventually I started sort of ignoring you guys and just playing with my drone. Then people came up and they were asking about it, so I was interviewing them, but a lot of people came back to me afterwards and said, "Oh, that was quite interesting." So in fact, one of them said, "Why don't you do more technical stuff?" So that's why I showed you the setup here. But if that's something you like, leave a comment down below to say what type of stuff you'd like, because there's lots of people doing the typical Tenerife stuff, walking around and showing you all the tourist places or anything. And I want to be slightly different. So I want you to come to my channel, or our channel, as you say, for different reasons, So that should be good. And if there's anything, anywhere you want me to go and walk or drive around or fly a drone over, contact me at timothydowd.com. Send me an email. I always respond to emails better than any sort of texting or anything like that. Especially the Facebook Messenger, I don't use it at all. In fact, you'll probably get an automatic message saying thanks for your message, but send me an email. So please do that if you get that. If you're not into email, you can call me on the phone. Just go to the About page on timothydowd.com. My phone number's there. And I only use WhatsApp if it is time relevant. So like, where are you? Or I'll meet you in 5 minutes around the corner. Please, please, please don't send me pictures of cats and dogs or memes. So thank you so much for that. So let's get back. So here we go. Christina and George, you look like a decent couple there, actually. There you go. I've sold her. So, how long have you been coming to Callao Salvaje?
Well, I'll start with my parents. My mother and father started coming to Tenerife. I think it was probably the 85, 86, something like that. Mm-hmm. And they very quickly fell in love with Tenerife,
Okay.
like a lot of people. And they used to stay at the Oro Negro Hotel.
Oh, right.
Which is still going.
It is, I've seen it, yeah. That's up by the Whiskey Jar and round the corner from the Columbus Hotel.
Well, it's all changed now, but
That's
in
it.
those days, it still is the Oro Negro. And I remember my mother saying she loved the Oro Negro and she always looked forward to going back there. They went every year. And eventually they decided to buy a property over here and retire here. And they were going to buy a flat in Torres del Sol. Do you know that?
I know,
tall,
yeah, the two towers by
they're very
the
small
Vista Sur.
apartments and they're high up. And I said to them, well, they'd only been around Los Cristianos and Las Americas. They hadn't travelled anywhere else around the island. I said, before you do that, let's hire a car and we'll go around the island and see what else there is.
So you were here at the time when that was happening?
I used to come and visit with them as well.
Okay.
I've been coming as well. So we hired a car and we drove right round the island, up the motorway, Santa Cruz, what's that holiday resort called, where all the English people stay in the north?
In the north, Puerto de la Cruz.
Puerto de la Cruz, past Puerto de la Cruz, where the tree is,
The Garachico,
Garachico and Icod,
Ecod.
right down the other side. So we did a whole circle of the island.
Okay, El Tanque, and then over the top,
Yep.
down to Puerto de Santiago and Santiago de Teide.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And then we found it was getting evening, and we arrived at Callao Salvaje.
Oh, so you came back the coast road from Los Gigantes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we were all tired, but we liked Callao Salvaje. And my father eventually, he bought a flat there. It
Right.
was many years ago. He paid £9,000 for a flat there in Aquaviva,
Rip off.
which is
Right here.
right here.
Right behind you?
No, this building wasn't here. This is the big Aquaviva.
Oh, there's a
The
little one.
small Aquavivas are those down on the sea, on the behind this. They're staggered in stages.
Okay, okay.
And there was nothing here at that time.
Uh-huh.
This building wasn't here. None of these buildings were here. The only buildings here at that time was the Scandinavian Hotel and Alancla
Okay.
and the little Aquaviva flats, which are behind this building here.
Mm-hmm.
The road, El Jable, was not metalled. It was pecan. And there was no electricity. And
In the
at
village?
night, it was just a village with a pecan road and just two hotels and one little supermarket.
But they
And
must have had electricity in the hotel.
no, wait a minute. There was no electricity. That was the incredible thing. They had a big Lister diesel engine down on the beach where they play petanque now.
Uh-huh.
And this diesel engine, I remember as a teenager, it had a huge flywheel. It was called a Lister diesel. And this flywheel used to go around going footum, 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 footum. And they switched it on about 6 o'clock in the evening.
Uh-huh.
That ran till about midnight, and then it switched off. And there was no lighting after that. Lighting came much later.
Wow.
There was no perla grease, there was no, the other one. What's that?
Perla Blanca.
No perla blanc.
And the whole of Sueño Azul was probably nothing, right?
There was nothing here.
Nothing here.
One of the most amazing things was, do you know the barranca that runs across El Jable?
Yeah.
There's a hotel built there, I've forgotten the name of it. There's a Tropical Garden?
Tropical Park.
Is it that one there?
That's right, Tropical Park.
That barranca didn't have any railings at the side of it. So you could easily, if you're trying to get your way back down here in the evening on the Pecan Road, you could easily have fallen over the edge into the barranca. There was no road.
So where did the road go then?
It came down here.
So there was also a bridge over the Barranco.
There was a bridge, but
Okay.
there was no railings at the side.
Okay.
So if you'd had a pint or two and you're making your way home, you could have easily ended up in the barranca.
Wow, that's really interesting.
That
That's
was a
really
long time ago, and now look at it.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, we came in 2014, but we actually saw the place in 2012, didn't we, when we came over on holiday? And we sort of like said it's quite nice, but we thought it was like a bit of it was a long hill down to the beach. So for us, it was like, oh, it's a bit hilly.
Yeah.
Especially with Christine in a wheelchair. And I was pushing at the time, wasn't I? It wasn't electric at the time. We hired an electric one, didn't we? But you didn't have one yourself. So yeah, we looked here, and then we went and said, well, we want to go from Los Cristianos to La Caleta. That was our area. But all the places we looked at were so old that they were too small for a wheelchair.
Yes.
So they'd built them with as much space as you could for outside, and then, doing the shimmy shake into the bathroom.
Yes.
And, the bedrooms were like, the bed just filled the room.
Yes.
And so when we came here, in fact, the guy that was just sat over there, his wife was disabled. So the building that we were in, he had a ramp built.
Right.
And then all the flats in there are wheelchair friendly.
Yes.
All we had to do was change the bathroom to a roll in, roll off, roll over wet room, didn't we, kid? But yeah, so it's if you are coming over here and you do have some problems with mobility, then Los Cristianos, Las Americas, Costa Adeje is very nice on the flat near the coast. But everywhere is going to be uphill, isn't it, really? Everywhere's going to be
That's
uphill.
Tenerife. Everywhere is uphill.
Everywhere's uphill, yeah. Because we are a volcano. We don't live on we don't have a volcano, we are a volcano.
Yeah,
I'm going to see what you guys are saying, because I've totally ignored you guys. We've got 106 people still watching. Where is Callao Salvaje, says Crocs Vids. If you look at a map and you see Los Cristianos, the next one's Las Americas, Costa Adeje, and then you get to where the new Hard Rock Hotel is, that's Playa Paraíso, and we're the next village up. So we're right next to the, we're probably about, I would say, a kilometre from the Hard Rock Hotel, right?
Yes, that's right.
At the moment, right. Would you like to plane spotting in Tenerife South Airport sometimes, Tim and Christina? Well, Christina won't go plane spotting because she can't see very well, right? So Christina doesn't do any sort of sightseeing type stuff. But I think Andrew's cornered that market of plane spotting. So if you're interested in what's landing in Andrew, then either Andrew or Rick and Shelley, because they live there, all the stuff going over. Enjoyed the video this morning with the guys from Switzerland. Okay, I thought they said they were from Sweden, but I must have missed it wrong. Roger Channing's on, good evening. Tricia Slater. Graham's on. Jack Bell. Tim, you should be charging commission, that's for the beer, right? I do actually, because she always says I like it when people come, and she always gives me the odd pint, but I don't have to pay for, so thanks to Kirsten at Little Germany for that. And Axel and Kirsten, they're good friends of ours. They've been to our house for dinner, and so we do meet them socially, but they're very, very hard workers. So do go and give them some love if you come into Callao Salvaje. But as George says, please book. Because don't be disappointed is what the word I was looking for. Salisbury in the UK, Del your beer. See, that's what you get for reading things backwards, right? So it obviously means something that somebody else has says. Careful, Tim. Christina's watching. What did I do? Did I drink too fast? Cheers, big ears.
Yeah.
I'm just getting... Webby's on. He's down the bottom there. He's in the Monte Cristo, probably.
Who's Webby?
Paul Webb. He's a Gloucester man.
Doesn't ring a bell.
He used to have 2 or 3 bars on the island.
Yeah.
And then he retired about 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's like ducking and diving and doing stuff. And he does charity stuff. And he's actually just got a snooker cue from, not Hurricane Higgins, what's it called? He sent me a text. So he gets like sporting stuff, like boxing gloves from famous people, and then auctions them off for charity. Oh, right. So he's a good man. So Webby, cool. Here we go. Hang on. Am I allowed to play this, Webby?
There it is. Snooker cue, signed by Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
For the Tenerife Master. His big charity of next year. That's a boom, my son.
Boom, my son. Sorry about that. If I'm not allowed to play that, I'm sorry, and you can kill me tomorrow. But yeah, he does really well, and he's a bit of a character. His son actually works the bar in Pearly Grey. Okay. So they're a great family, and he's always watching. Webby, you're a good mate. You're a good mate. So Paul Webb, boom. Hit the like, please. Una Mine's on. Jill Gardiner, Dorchester, maybe. Was that the
Savoy?
The Savoy. There you go. I knew you'd get it in the end. Is that the pub I met you, Tim? Jacqueline Ross. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Meet up Monday. Always here because it's dead easy to find it from the bus stop, isn't it? Batterment is heartbeat in English.
What?
There must have been some part of a conversation I don't get. Don't forget the thumbs up. Denise Pearson, Tim, we're told today collecting the TAs, poor germs on. We did that one. Okay. So, definitely Switzerland, Tim. Okay, cool. Mary Andy, well said, Jill. What did Jill say? One plane spotter is more than enough. Okay.
Why do the French only eat 1 egg for breakfast?
Why do the French only eat 1 egg for breakfast?
Because in French, An egg is, one egg is an earth.
Un earth.
One egg is an earth.
Is it? One egg is enough. Is enough.
Takes a while for the penny to drop.
I quite like that one. There was a guy that did nursery rhymes in sort of pidgin French. I don't know if you remember the guy. I can't remember his name now, but his.
Victor Borge, was it?
No, he was the musical
played the
guy,
piano,
wasn't he? Yeah.
yeah.
But there was another guy that he wrote nursery rhymes. Well, he wrote sort of French gobbledygook that sounded like British nursery rhymes.
Oh, I see.
So you got like un petit, d'un petit, ça tombe à bol. Un petit,
Yeah, I get it, yeah,
d'un
very
petit, à très folle. Yeah? Le chisosis, al chismen. Could they put un petit, deux petits together again? but
It's very good.
they
isn't
are
it?
very good. So un petit, deux
Yeah.
petites, c'est la balle. You do a German version of that, don't you?
Yeah.
Humpty Dumpty saß auf die Mauer.
Humpty Dumpty fiel runter und aua.
Aua! Evie Blue saying great story about the village back in the day. Orcus whaling, that's Craig, says hi Tim. Back out on the
What was
1st
that
of December.
about the village back in the day?
Evie Blue says great story about your village back in the day. So they're
So she remembers it. There is.
no, she's saying you told a great story about it.
Oh right, but I thought perhaps she remembered it. She could have been one of the people that came down here. at that
Maybe.
time.
What do you want to say, Chris?
Not many people would remind the village like they were in the old days.
No. Especially with the diesel. That's why the sand's black, probably. It's getting dark now, ladies and gentlemen, but we have such great cameras that it looks like midday.
Really?
It really does on the
I
camera.
look
On
forward
the
to
cameras,
seeing that,
it looks
yeah.
midday.
If I'm missing you, don't worry. I do see.
Oh, I'm miles behind on mine. But yeah, I can just turn this. That's live, or 30 seconds
goodness,
behind.
yeah, that's
it looks
incredible, yeah.
It's a great cameras.
Yeah.
Great cameras. Oh, we're frozen. Are we frozen? Anyway, 20 days and I'll have been on a plane. One egg. A good egg.
A good egg.
You're a
yes.
good egg, yeah. You know that's example. E.g.
Oh.
You're a good E.g. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, you're a good egg, you know. I like your accent. And before we went live, I asked George whether he was in the entertainment business, because you really do look like a thespian.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and he said he does. You are a member of the Operatic Society.
I'm a member of the Manor House Operatic Society in North London, but we are bar members. We actually don't sing or dance or do anything. We just support them at the bar.
Well, there you go.
Which is a very important job.
It's a very important job. In fact, I would like to work under you on that.
You're welcome anytime. Tim.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Should we start practicing now? Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming up to 45 minutes. I have to ask the guests, we have a very small portion of lasagna that we're going to go and reheat and have a glass of wine with when we're finished. But I really fancy trying these mussels. Do you fancy eating something?
Absolutely.
Or, yeah? So we're going to just eat a couple of tapas now and have a chat amongst ourselves. And also the people in the background there who've had the tapas, I want to go over and say hello to. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to thank George for the moment. Thank you for such a wonderful stories. Thank you for coming, first of all.
It's a pleasure, Tim. It's great to have met you.
Cool dude, and we're going to be chatting anyway in a minute. I just want to nip over to those people and say hello and see what happens. So I'm just going to solo this and pick the whole rig up and walk with it.
Wow.
If I lose you, let's do this. If I lose you, then we're not coming back. So we're nearly done, okay? But if I don't lose you, stay tuned. There's still 126 people watching.
Very nice.
So I'm going to pick you all up now and go and say hello to these other people. Can I have the microphone, just in case you have to reach inside and get the magnet, don't forget. We're going to grab his microphone now. There you go. Thank you so much. Sorry about the clips. Yeah. So you two can chat amongst yourselves now. And I'm going to walk over to the others and introduce them. And we'll see you in a second. So there we go. Let me just put this down because we don't need it. There you go. Let me turn you round on this one.
Oh, wow.
Dos cara, por favor. May I?
Yes, go for it.
Here we go. So this is a microphone here. You're all on it, I think. Let me put the microphone next to you. That's your microphone.
You can talk, James.
Thank you.
This is James, and you commented, I think.
Yes, we did.
Yes, you recommended the tapas.
I did. So which tapas did you decide on?
We've had a little bit of all
We've had
sorts.
garlic prawns,
We've
Oh yeah.
had meatballs, sauteed chicken, potatoes,
Canarian potatoes,
Oh yes.
vegetables,
Uh-huh.
the chicken,
Oh, very nice.
rice,
Very good.
vegetables, the mojo sauce.
The
yeah.
mojo rojo, mojo verde. No, there was no verde, no.
over the day.
Okay. Cool dudes. So what's your name? Where are you from?
James, South Derbyshire. My wife Lynn
Lynn, South Derbyshire.
Hi Lynn, South Derbyshire.
and Jean.
Derby City.
Jean's Derbyshire too.
Derby City.
Are you're the ménage à trois?
Yeah. I'm the extra.
You're the extra, are you? Oh, don't worry.
Coming out on Tuesday.
Christina's copped off with our guests, so I'm free.
Yeah, we have Helen and Ellen joining us on Thursday.
Okay, cool dudes.
So 1 man, 4 women.
Ah, there you go.
He's got his own harem.
And have you tried Little Germany yet?
Yes.
You did?
Sorry.
You did last week, wasn't you?
I had a week out here on my own.
Okay.
It was a week last, and I went down there and had the chicken.
And you didn't call me?
No, I don't know. But I had 3 courses: garlic bread.
Uh-huh.
I had the chicken schnitzel with mushroom sauce.
Oh, very nice.
And then I had apple strudel. Had to
Oh, that's Christina's
have it.
favourite.
And it's
That's Christina's favourite.
fabulous food.
I'm gonna let you eat.
Yep.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And you didn't even know it was Meet Up Monday.
No.
we
It's my
didn't.
good chance.
Where are you staying?
Tropical
Chocolate Park.
Yes.
Okay, Tropical Park. There you go. That's Tropical Park. And I'll grab my microphone back.
Lovely.
And I'll leave you to it.
Thank you very much indeed.
See you later.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Thank you.
See ya.
The other part goes to the main lounge, and they're nearly finishing it now. They're still finishing it. Tomorrow morning they will put the last pipe in. This is Canary phone. They said we want to send the technician tomorrow morning. And I said it's not ready yet. The last pipe has to go in. Make it miércoles. That's Wednesday.
Okay.
So they're coming Wednesday to put. The
Ladies and gentlemen, I took the initiative.
You're a man after my own heart, but my demise as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're finished for the day. We're gonna say cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, big ears. And Christina's gonna. It's better to ask forgiveness than permission, as they say.
Yeah.
And
El último.
El Ultimo. I got to go on the brandy after that, have I? Oh dear. There you go. So it's been a wonderful evening. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Tree surgeons on in the background. George reminds me of a very young David Attenborough.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And Bing Quadby. Evening Tim watched the live this morning. We're over in 10 days of rainy South Wales. Looking forward to it. Well, Bing, give us a call. We'll go for a walk. Webby's back on. Webby, boom, we're talking about you, saying you're beautiful people. Everyone soon to do. Jill Gardinier, much preferred travelling on a plane. Orcus Whaling, back on 1st of December for 6 days, and then in January. Craig, give me a call, and we'll definitely go out and sort something out. So I'm going to finish it here. So if you guys want to just say ta-ra,
Bye.
and then I will go back to me. and say, ladles and jelly spoons. Can I do this? No, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Wouldn't want to be you.
Wouldn't want to be. There you go.
Why does he say that?
So you wouldn't want to. I'm not going to do that. Shall I?
Go on, do it.
So, Google thinks you might like this one next. And if you want to support the channel, you can go right here and support it with our wedding photograph. It tells you all about how to get in touch with us with PayPal and with the membership system. And if you want to subscribe for free, subscribe right here and you get notified when we're doing other stuff. And I'll put the merchandise up there. This is Tim down for Living with MS in Tenerife, together with all my guests tonight. And Christina, of course, the one that is stopping me drinking. See ya.